Sam is going to be talking about our partnership and work with Google Arts and Culture. I'm just going to give a quick intro to kind of our partnership with them, and then Sam will be talking about the hard work that she's been doing. So what is Google Arts and Culture? It's the non-profit arm of Google, established in 2011 by the Google Cultural Institute, which is a sort of partner, the top-level organisation. The aim for them is to bring the world's culture heritage online, so they sort of connecting cultural organisations with a new and wider audience, and the sort of how that works is they provide free tools and technologies to the culture sector to help them showcase their collections and, as I said, access a wider and global audience. So this is a few stats that they've kind of shared with us, which are from July 2017 to July 2018. So the numbers will actually be higher now. So you can just kind of see in terms of the figures how big a reach the content on their platform has. So you know, the sort of the potential for people accessing and seeing our collections is by being on the platform is massive. And then particularly the partnership we have with Google, we signed a contract with them in 2018 as the university to enhance the discoverability and engagement with our collections, and it particularly ties in with our digital strategy, with to being able to democratise access to collections and eliminating geographic, cultural and economic boundaries. So that ties in very closely with the work with that Nick and I do. And Sam is now going to talk about the work she's been doing with the Botanic Gardens and the Arboretum to as a sort of guinea pig onto the platform, because they have Google will ever so often do a theme, and the theme in the next few months is UK gardens, so it ties in very well with Botanic Gardens. And then ultimately all of the GLAM institutions will be being brought onto the platform. I'll just give you a quick, there's a few examples, the sort of other bigger institutions that are already on the platform. So the Natural History Museum in London, they're one of the original institutions that became on. This is Versailles, and they have some really exciting content they developed with Google, and then also big American cultural organisations like the Met. So I will hand you over to Sam.
Thanks. Yes, so as Jenny said, they started with us because they're doing their UK Parks and Gardens theme. So they've identified the UK as somewhere that's culturally very rich in gardens. So we've got a long history of, like we are the oldest botanic garden in the UK, for example. So we're a prime example of that. But they want to bring it all online for people to see. And it's something quite exciting for Google. It's one of the reasons they like it, because they haven't worked with a living collection before. So it is quite a challenge for them as well, which I think they quite like. So yes, they started with us. If it moves. So what does it actually look like? So we all have partner pages, they're called, and it's sort of your profile on the Google Culture platform. So they're kept very separate from anything corporate on Google, so you have to Google Art and Culture, and it sort of takes you into that rabbit hole. So it's not something that will pop up like your Google listings. It's not something like that. You upload your collection as items. You choose the metadata that goes with it, so you decide entirely what you want to display on there and what you want people to know about it. And then you use these items to create stories about your collection. So this is what I've made so far for us. It's not yet live, but it will eventually go live, so I will demo it for you in a bit. So this is an example of an item, so I'm not sure, yeah, you can see it okay, don't you? So you can see that it has the name, also it shows it's yours, and then this is the metadata that it's dragged from. It's just a simple Excel file, and you upload it as a CSV, so it is very simple. And then you'll notice as well that this is automatic. They will pick out certain terms in your story. So the more you put into your description, it will automatically generate links. And I think that's trying to create, like YouTube, where you get stuck into a rabbit hole and you're just there for hours. So it's trying to do that. on here, so you can get sucked into culture and you get taken away with it, and it does work quite well actually. There's some really interesting things on the platform. One of the things that they're doing, which is great, is they are helping us to digitise our archives. So with our 400th anniversary coming up, this is actually perfect timing for us. There's a lot of stuff in our archive. It's not huge compared to like the Bodley and other ones, we are small. But there's some really interesting stories in there. I found a few today from like our 300th anniversary. So there's some interesting things in there, which is interesting to find, and they are providing the technology and people power to do that, which is good for us. So I'm going to quickly demo what it actually looks like. So this is the back end, but this is what the platform will look like live. You can put your description on, there's the stories, it picks out bits of it, and then you have all of your images, and it will organise them as well as a timeline, and once we get more up there, it will also organise them by colour, which for us is actually quite nice. It's a nice little touch. And then it puts in context, so someone anywhere in the world will actually know where we are and who we are, and opening hours, etc. So I'll show you one of the stories now. So this is one about Victoria Amazonica, which is the giant water lily, which has a very interesting history at the garden, because it is actually the reason that the water tank was built. The water tank in the water lily house is the original. The glass houses around it aren't, but it is. And it is the reason it was, because it was very fashionable to grow at the time. So it tells the story. It is a little bit glitchy, so bear with it. They've switched onto a new platform, so there's still some teething problems. But it just will tell stories through images, so a bit of history about it. You can use different media. One of the benefits of storytelling on it is that it does allow you to use other people's images. So this is an image that I found in the Paul Getty Museum. So when you upload your items, other people can also use them, but you will always be referenced at the end. So it's a nice way of sort of sharing and getting your collection and content out there to a completely different audience, because other people are also using it. For us, which is really lovely, we can also give people an idea of why the plant looks like it does, like where it has evolved. So you can use Street View to look around. So this is the Amazon. This is where the plant evolved. Which is quite nice. Once we have our Street View up and running, we'll be able to take people to the water lily house, so someone on the other side of the world can actually experience it. So this is an image of team hard at work. They do spit out a whole new leaf every week, so they've got to get in the pond every Monday and chop one off before it takes over the whole pond. So it's a fascinating plant. And then you can also bring in your videos as well. So here's an example of the time lapse I did it opens white the first night, and then the second night it opens purple. So it's nice that you can use all these different things. And these aren't live on our on our YouTube account, so you can be an unlisted image video, and then you can add it, which is quite a nice touch. But yeah, it's a nice way of telling a story, and there's loads of different ways of doing it. So if you went onto the platform, you can look up other examples of what other people have done. There's different ways of doing it. It's just a nice way of getting your collection out there and telling the stories that you want to tell to other people. As you can see, because I used their image, they got referenced at the bottom. We're not referenced yet because we're not live, but once we are, we will be at the bottom of our own story. But at the moment we're not. And yeah, that is essentially the platform. Any questions?